Hi, Vaclav.
Hey, what's up?
We're here at Superbooth, and we are at the Bastl booth.
Yeah.
And you've got a new oscillator, right? Pizza.
Yep. Yeah, it's called Pizza. Right here, it's a digital oscillator, and it's really designed to take the best parts of different worlds of synthesis. So we can start off by just listening to the pure sine wave. It does. So we're listening to the main output now, and the main output can do nice FM, aka phase modulation. So that's this FM index crossfader. It crossfades between two modulating oscillators. So I have the octave oscillator side. I can switch the octave with this button to get these warm FM tones. And on the ratio side, I have more of a harmonic intervals, so I can get some more of a advanced FN tonalities and crossfade them. There is also attenuator to CV control this, so I can have it on this side, modulate it there, or have it on this side, modulate it over there. So that's the FM part. On the octave oscillator side, I can also plug in external signals. So if I had another oscillator I would want to be used in the phase modulation, I could plug it in and it would replace the octave side. But the octave oscillator still would be active, and it has its own dedicated output, which I can mix in now. So I have all the outputs going into a mixer. So I can mix in the octave just to get the stronger fundamental and get the low end back. So now, so this is the FM side and main oscillator to modulating oscillators. Then there is the wave shaping section. So there is this shape fader and a button to go between wave, fold, and ring. So if I'm on the wave side and I'm in the middle with the FM index, it won't really do anything because it's wave shaping the modulating oscillators. And that makes a lot more sense sound-wise. So if I pull up a little bit of the FM, fader, you can hear there is a lot of subtlety that goes into the FM, but with more FM, you can get these nice timbres, and it's wave shaping both of those modulating oscillators. Or if I listen to just the octave output, this would be the clean version of that. So this is just the octave. Yeah, it's this blue waveform. If you can see the blue waveform on the scope, that's the octave output. So that's the first wave shaper. Then there is a fold. So that's applied on the main output. So it can. Wait, I need to pull
So is the wave shaper circuit digital as well?
Yeah. Everything here is digital. So and so then we have the wave folder. So the classic resonant kind of wave folding, and there is two flavors. So in the middle of the shaper, it doesn't really do anything. It's a lot harsher, and it's a lot more pronounced if I combine it with the FM. So if I go to extremes, I can get a lot of high end if I want to, but there is a lot of subtle gold around the mid positions of those faders. And then we have the ring modulation. So again, if the shaper is in the middle, there's no ring mod, and if I go to right, it's ring modulating the main oscillator with the octave oscillator or the ratio oscillator. So if I flip these ratios, So I can get this like nice sort of crossfade between two ring modulations. Of course, I can CV that. So, and again, when I combine it with the FM, of sweet spots you can do. What I really like to do is to, let's say, FM with the octave oscillator and ring modulate with the ratio oscillator and go to detune and detune the oscillators a little bit. So that's kind of my go-to setting. So I'm really happy about the detune. So if you're in the middle, there's no detune. If you move to the left, it's a linear detune. So let's set some like nice like LFO. And if I go to another octave, it keeps the same like LFO frequency. That's like the linear detune magic. Yeah, and there's also like sync input, so you can sync them and like have this like kind of synced to a beat. And if I go to the right side, it's exponential FM. So that's very different flavor as you change the pitch. So that's an exponential detune. Yeah. So. I guess I'm more of a fan of the linear. So this button is for the pitch knob. So you either have like octave switching or you have detune. And of course you can use the pitch knob for tuning it, but like it doesn't really let you tune it until you long press it. And if you long press it, then you can adjust semitones and fine tune. But the idea about digital oscillators is that like you don't really need to tune them if you don't really have to. So the tuning is hidden, so you don't like accidentally change the tuning of your oscillator. But plus it saves a lot of space on the module itself. And yeah, we're still talking like 8 HP module. And I think when we get even more interesting is when we look at this control knob, which is assignable. And you can assign it to a lot of different things. So let's maybe start with assigning it. So I just hold this button and I press it, and now this knob will control the wave shaper. So remember, I was switching here what this fader does. So now this is doing ring modulation, but now I assign the control to do the wave shaper. So I have both at the same time. So this is how you can get even more like sonic palette out of the module. But you can also assign it to, if I hold it, there is an option to have like a built-in VCA. So you can basically like make it into a voice, or use it as a, it's a bipolar VCA, so you can also
so
do
you
like
could use it as a ring modulator.
Exactly, so
right.
You can run external signal and ring mod with that. But I can also go and like control the octave, so I can like run CV into it and have it control the octave, or detune or exponential FM on any of the oscillators. So yeah, so that's the control knob. That's assignable. I think that's kind of it really speaks to what I think. Complex oscillators are sometimes too complex, and they have like a lot of options, and they sound good when you modulate 2, maybe 3 things. But here basically like you pick the things that you want to control, and it doesn't really like make the module huge. It's still like a compact digital oscillator that gives you enough flexibility to be like interesting sonically, but like it keeps it small. So I think we kind of hit some interesting balance. But where I think that this module is really interesting is that it has 3 outputs. So let's do some magic on the. Let's say we do a lot of wave shaping here, but in this mixer I can pull in also the octave oscillator, which is now like a sub. So it has that sub component, right? When you wave shape, do additive synthesis, you often lose the fundamental or the low end, but like this, it just comes back in. There's also dedicated pulse output. So if I bring in the pulse output, that gets controlled with the FM index. You also get this, pulse with modulation. Of course, I need to mention it when we're talking to Sonicstate, right? So, yeah, and I think mixing the outputs and using it in like a subtractive context with all like additive, FM, it's like really hybrid synthesis oscillator, and I think that's where it really shines.
Brilliant. So, do you have a kind of roadmap for when that's going to be available?
So yeah, we're building them, the first batch right now, and we're shipping them in 2-3 weeks. So people can pre-order now. It's $245 without tax, around $300 with tax, depending on where you live. Yeah, so it's available now. We're doing first batch. It's a bit smaller. It's kind of as much as the supply chain could help us do it, but we're expecting next batch like soon, probably end of summer.
Brilliant. And you've also got a kind of update to the Softpop too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So glad you asked, because I really love this update. So the Softpop came out in January, and all people who bought it have a analog VCO. It's a triangle core analog. And it's analog in both good and bad ways, so it can get out of tune. Everybody who bought it, there is now a jumper inside. You can switch, update the firmware, and you're running the digital oscillator instead. So you don't need to tune it, always perfectly in tune. Plus, there is new waveforms. So I guess that's kind of the most exciting part about this, are the new waveforms. So there is 8 of them. I'm currently on the detuned saw wave, or like a super saw. I can saw waves. So it's like a linear detune, and there's really like nice low end. I can also detune it all the way down 1 octave. Just a simple sawtooth. This is like 2 sawtooths. One is like octave lower. But there is also other shapes. There is like this triangle that has like fractal waveshaper. You can have a look at the yellow waveform here on the scope. So there is this like really nice sort of fractal waveshaper on the triangle. And it sounds really good. It sounds, it sounds really good on the modulated filter. You can get like these like very belly sounds. So you can basically get like a lot more subtlety from the Softpop on the oscillator front. And of course, it's a Softpop, so you can go crazy. Really crazy quick, but back to normal, like very musical things in no time. So that's kind of, I think, the beauty of the Softpop. So make it more melodic.
Brilliant. Well, Vaclav, thank you very much, and
thank you.
Enjoy the show.
Yeah, thank you. It's a pleasure to talking to you.